Okay, guys, we are live. It's Saturday night. It's 8 o'clock, 24 hours away from the big one. Arsenal, Liverpool at the Emirates. I've got Ray from Arsenal Fan Circle in the house from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Pencil that one in, Pennsylvania. How are you, Ray?
I'm good, Dave. How are you? Of course, originally from Ireland. We got to work that in as well.
Yeah.
The longer I'm here and the more you'll hear me, the more the accent will come back, Dave. And especially you'll help with bringing to dial me in as well.
Absolutely. I'll start speaking Irish, Chief. I knew Irish. My wife speaks fluent Irish, but I'm a little girl as well, and I don't speak a word. That's amazing, isn't it? But I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're obviously going to talk about the big one, 24 hours, Arsenal Liverpool at the Emirates. We haven't kicked the ball in centuries. I mean, centuries. We haven't kicked the ball in decades. I mean, I've forgotten all about football at this stage. It's been so long. The international football just doesn't do it for me, to be fair. But absolutely looking forward to it. And before we start, we just want to mention something very important that happened midweek. Sad news. On the Arsenal fan base side, of course, from Claude from AFTV. I didn't know him personally. I knew a lot of people did videos with him and stuff. I was hoping to maybe do something with him later in the year. Passed away. I don't know whether you knew him, Ray, or you knew a few people that knew him. A big Arsenal fan. He would have been looking forward to this weekend, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I've worked with a few people, Dave, in the podcasting world that I have worked with Claude, but I want to just say commiserations, condolences to the family, to his family, and of course to all of his friends within the Arsenal universe out there. And I know a few people who have worked with him, and we're all supporters of football, and in the Arsenal family, we all want the best for Arsenal, let's say. And Claude was one of those that really wanted the best for Arsenal. And we all have opinions, and you know that as well. We all expressed them more strongly than others. And Claude was definitely he wore his heart on his sleeves, from what I could see, being in the Arsenal arena. And condolences to his family as well. Just wanted to say that, Dave.
No, absolutely no. You'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. What's that noise? You like a background noise there, did you?
No. There was a ding. Okay. Your phone, maybe, not mine.
It was a ding. It was Klopp. It was Klopp. It's okay. Don't ring me, Klopp, when I'm live. The big one, obviously, tomorrow night. Actually, 24 hours exactly, more or less. We'd be a minute or two into it. I'm looking forward to this game. It's always a good game, Arsenal Liverpool, no matter what, at Anfield or the Emirates. We have a good record against you up until actually the end of last season, when you beat us, of course. We beat you 3-1, I think, at Anfield then, start of the season. But both teams have been Jekyll and Hyde. We've been hit with injuries, form of different players and stuff. What way do you think now, Arsenal, the weekend? What do you think of this game, Ray? What do you think?
Yeah, Jekyll and Hyde, both clubs are acting that way. I don't know what you think about the break, Dave, and how you felt. I believe you beat Wolves, signing off before what I call the interlull. Arsenal got away with it against West Ham. West Ham took their opportunities. We made a few fatal mistakes in turning our back to the ball and things like that. Really should have lost that game. West Ham had a chance in the second half to seal it at 4-2, but you have to look at being 3-0 down and coming back. By the grace of God, they got a 3-3 draw. Played really, really well. Odegaard really brought us back into the game, and Thomas Partey as well. I think he may be one player on the Arsenal team who's benefited from the 2 weeks off that we've had. He's gone away on international duty. Probably needed the extra games or two. He was getting tired on our last home game against Tottenham in the last 10-15 minutes. So I do expect Partey to step forward tomorrow.
To be honest, I just didn't want to stop. We beat Wolves 1-0. Okay, well, it wasn't exactly a fantastic performance. It was a clean sheet. We had just got into the quarterfinals of the Champions League by beating Leipzig, home and away, which wasn't an easy feat. They're a good side, that Leipzig side. So I didn't want it to end, to be honest. I'm not a mad fan of international football, especially an Ireland fan at the moment. I mean, we can't even score a goal. But so I wanted it to continue, and I think the gap could come into effect tomorrow. You know what I mean? Both teams haven't played together, nearly 3 weeks. I mean, it'll be a different game. There's no fans there, though. I mean, that's a huge loss for me, Ray. I mean, it really is. It's not even the same watching it. It's not the same.
There's no soul in the game anymore. The fans are the soul of the game, Dave. And we're going to miss that atmosphere. You mentioned previous encounters we've had over the last 3 or 4 years. Funnily enough, we don't seem to be very competitive up at Anfield lately. We haven't been the team. And, of course, Liverpool have been the best team in the last 2-3 years, beating us quite comfortably. Funnily enough, when we get you back at the Emirates, we do have a fighting chance. We beat you last year, 2-1, and had a couple of draws. I think the last win for Liverpool was 4-3, that crazy game in 2016.
Wow.
We see something like that tomorrow. I mean, everyone will be happy, but obviously we're going to want our team to win as well, right?
Yeah. The only thing for me is Liverpool have been better away from home, so I'm a bit more optimistic that it's at the Emirates. I know it sounds weird considering the Anfield record we had. We were unbeaten for nearly 3.5 years up until January at Anfield, and all that came crashing down, So I'd be confident enough. I know Bobby Firmino is fit and raring to go. Whether he starts or not, I don't know. I don't know how he can drop Jota, to be fair. I think Jota has to start unless he plays. We'll talk about lineups and all, but that's the big news. Firmino's in the squad anyway. But I'm just looking forward to tomorrow because, as I say, there hasn't been proper football to watch. There's been 1 or 2 good internationals. I mean, North Macedonia beat Germany the other night, 2-1 in Germany. I was like, what?
Strange results in the international scene for sure.
Strange results, strange year, strange 12 months when you think about it, right? I mean, the 12 months we've gone through, March to March, has just been like something of a movie, a sci-fi movie, basically.
It's not going to get any easier, Dave. It's not going to get any easier.
No, not 2021 anyway.
The fans may come back and there may be, the stadiums will fill up, but you look at the schedule of the players moving forward for the next 2 years. You've got the European Championship coming up in the summertime. Then you're going to have a full campaign and you're going to go into a World Cup that's in the wintertime of next year. And so what are the players going to look like in 2 years from now?
What's the world going to look like 2 years from now? That's one way of looking at it. You know what I mean? I see Jack Mack LFC in the comments. Jack, I sent you a link on Twitter in your DM. If you want to pop in, you can pop in anytime. You can come into the green room and have a beer, baby. But
two against one, but I can hold my own, Dave.
It'd be 2 against 1, which is the scoreline, Ray. 2-1.
I might take that scoreline, but it might go the other way for you. You know what I mean?
Listen, it's going to be a tight game. I mean, draws are no use. I mean, a 1-1 or 0-0, it's absolutely no use to both teams. I think Liverpool have to get a performance tomorrow, considering we have Madrid at the Bernabeu on Tuesday in the first leg of the quarters. I mean, wow.
That's going to be a quick turnaround. What we have, Dave, is 2 teams. They're thereabouts between, what are you, 6th? We're in 9th place right now. 4 points in the difference. But you may actually argue that the European games are going to be more important to both teams.
Well, I mean, the league form is being so mixed and Jekyll and Hyde that for Liverpool to get top 4 now in the league is unlikely. I mean, it's possible, but it's unlikely. You have to look at the form over the last few months and say, Kabak and Phillips at the back, they've done well, 2 clean sheets in a row, but it's not Van Dijk. It's not even Gomez. It's not even Matip. So you're saying to yourself, okay, I mean, even if we got an away win, if we get a win tomorrow at Emirates, any type of win, that would be huge confidence builder for us going into the Madrid game Tuesday. Because if we got beaten tomorrow, it's huge. One game can make and break your whole, you know what I mean? And then confidence is, do you throw all your eggs into one basket and go, right, league, you're not going to get top 4 now. If you lose another game, they're gone. I think you'd have to win. What is it, 9 league games left? I think Liverpool would have to win 8. 8, have any chance of finishing 4th, So I think they have a chance against Madrid, but we're not talking about that game. But the 2 of them are sort of on top of each other. They're so close to each other that both games in Klopp's mind, I'm sure. You're in Europa still, aren't you? You're in
Europa League. We've got Slavia Prague. We really want to, as Arsenal fans, we really want to send a statement out there. Not only go through to the semi-final, potentially against an Unai Emery Villarreal team in the semi-finals. But we can't overlook Slavia Prague, and we want to send the right message out in terms of racism, what happened there. Be professional, but put that team away professionally and do the job over 2 legs. It's going to be difficult because we have the home leg first on Thursday, and then we're going to follow it up away from home.
I'd fancy it. Is my audio okay?
Yep.
It's perfect. Still okay. You're not hearing any sort of like gremlins like I am.
Not at all.
I think great film, by the way, great film from the 80s. I think you'll beat Slavia Prague over 2 legs. I think you'll beat them.
Yeah,
I think you have a great chance. I think you have a great chance on that cup. To be honest,
I think we have a great chance to get to the final. The storyline could be we'll go up against Unai Emery. Can you imagine the storyline there? Previous manager versus the latest manager we have right now in Arteta.
Yeah. But no, I think he'll have a really good chance. Also, Jack Mack is coming in. He's finishing his tea. Then he's going to pop in Jack Mack LFC.
Well, I know tea's important, but this is a little bit more important. Jack, come on, get in there.
More important than life itself. Football, more important than life itself.
True.
Well, nearly.
Yeah.
But as I say, I'm buzzing about this game because it's been so long. And what type of lineup? Arsenal are home. They're going to come at Liverpool. It'll suit Liverpool as well. I don't like teams that sit back. You could say the same thing about Liverpool. Liverpool won't sit back. It'll probably suit Arsenal. They don't like teams that sit back either.
We can't afford not to sit back, Dave. We're behind. We had that dreadful patch November, December, lost something like 10 games in that stretch. Arteta's under pressure to get results, and 9th place is not where Arsenal fans want to see their team. But I do believe we get past Liverpool and we get past Everton. Those are 2 home games coming up for us. I do believe the teams that we beat in terms of Liverpool and Everton, we can jump over those teams if we beat them. Only if we beat them. If we've beaten Tottenham, I think we can pull the gap through back on Tottenham. We didn't beat West Ham, so I think West Ham and Arsenal fans underestimate West Ham this season. They've had a tremendous season. Going to their stadium was always going to be difficult, and you take on board what happened in the game. Yeah, should we have been 3-0 down after 30 minutes? But to come back and get the draw, I'm happy enough to take the point there. In terms of our team, I think we will be going to win the game under Arteta. We can't sit back. And Liverpool, I think, will try to hold on to possession. What do you think, Dave?
It depends on what team you play. I actually think that it'll be the same team that played against Wolves. I really do. I know Firmino's back in. He'll be on the bench, I'd say. Although he's a good record against Arsenal, which he does like Arsenal. And some players, historically do play against teams that just don't play against other teams. They actually play. So it wouldn't surprise me if Bobby started tomorrow. Maybe even behind the front three. Maybe behind the front three.
I would actually fear Jota over Firmino.
Jota's just gotta start because Jota he gives us so many problems. He gives us so many options. He's pacey. He's very good in the air. I think 3 goals he got for Portugal in 2 games were all in the air. He's a great header of the ball. He's small. He's nippy. He sees a pass. He's actually got everything. He's our most dangerous forward, to be fair, at the moment.
Yeah, well, you've got 3 of them, and those 3 players we're going to be worried about. Mane, Salah, and probably Jota's going to start. And to be honest, I think that's the main danger that you have is those 3 players. I don't see goals in other parts of the team. Do you?
Not really. I'd say the team you play in the middle would be Fabinho, Gini, and Thiago. Now, a lot of people are saying Gini's played a lot of football. He played a lot of international football as well. Thiago had a break. I think he was only used as a sub in one of the games for Spain. So Gini, would you mix it up and play the likes of Curtis Jones in there, or Keita maybe, Naby Keita, who played for Guinea or Guyana twice? I think he was captain. I don't know. I think he'll stick with Gini away from home. I really do. That'd be the team. I can't see him switching it up.
I see what you had last time. Fabinho, Gini, and Thiago in midfield. And Rory Fitz there says Bellerin, Tierney. I actually think it'll be Cedric will be the odds-on call there, Cedric. But I'd actually like to see Chambers in there. He played really well against West Ham. And set up 2 of the goals, assisting for 2 of the goals.
We'll just give a few shout outs for the people that actually bothered to come in. So we've Jack Mac LFC hopefully joining us in the next 10 minutes or so.
Finish that tea.
Well, yeah, finish that tea, baby. Get a beer and finish the tea. Cedric Lopez in the house. How are you, Cedric? Where are you from, my friend? Eamon Kelly. Arsenal have a good run in. Just us and Chelsea are there tough games left, says Eamon.
Exactly right, Eamon.
You've read out Rory Fitz's and what have we got? We'll leave it at that. But get the comments in, guys. We'll read them out as much as we can, obviously. But I still think it's I'm not saying it is a tough one to call tomorrow. It really is. I don't know what Arsenal's going to turn up, Ray. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's going to be the team that's all attack. You know what? I think they can turn up. That's the thing about Arsenal. But they don't turn up. They don't turn up enough. That's your problem.
I think you're going to see an Arsenal with their best foot forward here. It's a home game. Remember, our last home game was against Tottenham. Yeah. We had that setback where we went to goal down, but came back into that game really well. There is question marks over Saka. You don't want to see Saka on the field. And
he's a good player. That you flip.
Yeah. Emile Smith-Rowe as well. There's question marks over them. There's also injury doubts on David Luiz. I actually think he'll come through, and they're saying Granit Xhaka is ill. As I would see Xhaka playing. The greatest ability Granit Xhaka has is his availability, Dave. He always seems to be making it into the team, and much to the distress of some Arsenal fans, but we don't have a lot more in midfield to take over for him, other than maybe El Neni or Ceballos. I think Ceballos would be too adventurous. I think we're going to be on the front foot. I don't think in midfield Arteta is going to take too many chances there. We're going to have to be able to put a midfield out to go up against Gini, Fabinho, and Thiago. You know,
I think the key is the midfield, Ray. I mean, whoever wins the midfield battle, I'd say wins the game, because they'll be feeding our front three, be feeding your boys. I mean, Lacazette's on a bit of form. What's the story with Aubameyang? What's going on there? Do you see his new hairstyle? Is that real, or was that an April Fool's yesterday?
What's that?
The new hairstyle.
Oh, the hairstyle is real.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
It was like Snoop Dogg or something.
Hey, a new hairstyle might breed something new into him. Breed some life into him. But he's had some issues with his mother being ill recently in the last few months. Had some time away. He's been kind of stop-start. So if you're talking about Jekyll and Hyde, Aubameyang is the epitome of Jekyll and Hyde. You'll either get the good Aubameyang or you'll get the bad Aubameyang. But here's the issue with Aubameyang. He's a finisher, Dave. You're either going to be finishing.
Klopp knows about him. You know what I mean?
He's either going to be finishing or he's not going to get the ball. So that's the situation. And he will have chances. He'll need about 5 chances if he's going to score 1 or 2 goals.
Yeah, he is a dangerous player. I'd rather him not on the pitch, to be fair. Yeah. I just, because he can score from anywhere. Lacazette's done well. I think he's a good record against Liverpool as well recently. Lacazette
he's your big game player. He turns up in these games. He's not prolific. He will get you 14, 15 goals a season, but he puts everything out on the field, Dave, and he won't be found wanting as well. There's an idea out there amongst Arsenal fans that he does knit the play a lot better. You got 2 different strikers. Lacazette will knit the play around the younger players. Aubameyang is the guy who gets on the end of things. And I actually think, depending on Saka, which I don't think Saka will make it, we'll see Aubameyang on the left wing tomorrow with Lacazette up front. But we can get into the teams a little bit later in more detail, right?
Is my audio okay? It seems to be a bit of a feedback here, but if you can hear me okay, it must be all right.
Yeah, I can hear you okay. Check with everyone in the comments section.
Thumbs up if the audio's okay, guys. Thumbs up if the audio's okay. Just a bit of a feed, or like a looping noise. Could be these stupid headphones I have on. It's like I'm an air traffic controller. Okay, just moved. But listen, Aer Lingus, baby. Well, I wouldn't be on much Aer Lingus with a bottle of Peroni in my hand. I wouldn't be the pilot anyway. But
no. But Rory says you're coming across fine. Rory said.
Brilliant, Rory. Fair play to you, buddy. Rory Fitz9. We'll just have a little chat before Jack gets in about Arteta. Mm-hmm. He's some nice words to say about Liverpool and Klopp the other day, by the way. I will give him that. What do you think What's your overall synopsis at this moment in time of Arteta? Are you happy? You're not happy? Are you content?
I'm pretty happy with what Arteta's done so far. There's lots of caveats, of course. Lots of Arsenal fans will say, we lost almost as much games as we have won in the league. I think you have to realize there was an awful mess that he had to come in and clean up. I think any coach who's worth his salt, if you have a good coach or a good manager, wins you a trophy in his first season, I think that's a portent to him being a good manager in the future. And I don't go for this papering over the cracks. Is the FA Cup what Arsenal fans ultimately want? No, we want to be winning leagues eventually and winning and getting into that Champions League final and winning it finally. We want to get one Europa League, or not a Europa League. We'd like to get that under our belt as well this season, get into the Champions League, of course. But Champions League is the ultimate holy grail. A lot of Arsenal fans are split on Arteta, and of course Edu and the direction of the club. I think that he's doing a good job so far. Any of the players that he's weeded out and sent away, we've seen that they've not rehabilitated themselves. Look at Guendouzi; he's at Hertha Berlin right now. And he's still got issues. He's still got adolescent issues with the coach, petulance. Ozil, it was very, very important to ship Ozil off. Fenerbahce to reduce the wages so that we can probably do something this summer in the transfer market, depending on what we do in the Europa League as well, of course. And staying in Europe next season is important. But, there was a big job to be done. Mustafi's moved on. I was actually going to banter you a little bit. Did you not want Mustafi in January?
No, thanks. No, thanks. I'd rather come back. I'd actually rather Ben Davies, and he hasn't even kicked the ball. You know what I mean? No.
Really, with Arteta, he's had some. What I always say is he's a pretty decent coach, right? He's learned under Pep. He's learned under Arsene Wenger. He's taken some things there. I think it's his highway or his way or the highway, in some ways, but in other ways he sends the wrong messages. He does have a lot of patience for some players like Granit Xhaka, who has, been a problem with supporters over the years. So he's allowed experienced players to rehabilitate themselves, and he's been harsh on some of the younger players. So there's obviously some holes to poke within Arteta. He's not the finished article. I always say he's growing with the team, and it's not ideal. Arsenal fans wanted an experienced coach to come in. We're going through some growing pains with an inexperienced manager. I think he's a good coach. I think his man management leaves a little bit to be desired, Dave.
Okay. In the green room is Jackie Boy. Jack McLC.
I agree with what Eamon's saying there. Arteta is a better manager than Ole. Ole has had a year ahead of Arteta, so hopefully we're seeing Arteta performing like Ole and getting the team to where they are next season, a year ahead. Hi, Jack.
That's true. Jackie Boy.
Hi, lads. He's right. Lovely to speak to you today. It's been a while. I'm excited for this game.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Butterflies are getting in there now, Jack. Butterflies are getting in there.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be an exciting game, isn't it, lads? Thank you for having me on, Dave. Absolute pleasure. Hopefully everyone at home is keeping safe and well. And
Absolutely.
Having a good Friday, mate. But yeah, thanks. Can't wait for tonight's show. So apologies, I'm a bit late. Just finishing off my tea.
I'll tell you, Jack, I was just talking to Ray there about the game, obviously, tomorrow night. We'll be 25 minutes into the game at this time tomorrow night, of course. What do you think tomorrow night? I think I'm looking forward to it because we haven't played in so long, to be fair. But what's your synopsis on the game? What's your take?
It's going to be an interesting counter for both sides. I think, as Ray's mentioned, Jekyll and Hyde, Arsenal's very similar seasons. Arsenal and Liverpool, they've been good one week, very bad the other. Obviously, Arsenal have come back into this second half of the season. They've been a lot better to which they've started off. Considering, yes, Liverpool played bad this season, but Arsenal are not that many points behind Liverpool. And considering how everyone was writing, how the rest of the pundits were writing off Arsenal this season. They crept back in, and I think it's going to be very important for Ray and obviously all the Arsenal fans. We've seen what Frank Lampard, he got sacked by Chelsea, and obviously Chelsea have come into a bit of a run of form anyway. Whatever you thought about Lampard as a manager, it's going to be Arsenal. Will they keep with Arteta? And obviously they've seen this improved form, Ray. Have you been impressed by the way in which he's adapted this season? Obviously from the coming weeks.
No, I got to be a little bit harsh on Arteta, and I'm probably the most up. And within my podcast, Arsenal Fan Circle, a little bit of a shameless plug there, but within my podcast, I'm the host, but I'm the most optimistic gooner in there, Jack. So a lot of my co-hosts, my pod co-hosts are starting to lose faith in him. And you know what? We had a lot of young players playing in the Europa League, and they were playing really, really well. Admittedly, they were playing Dundalk and Molde, and it was a competition, let's say, where you should have won your 6 games, but we did win the 6 games, and they played really, really well. I wanted Arteta to start integrating those players into the first team, even in November or December, because this was always going to be a year of developing the young players, and they've actually shown more than the established players within Arsenal. But we lost a lot of goals, as I mentioned, a lot of games, as I mentioned to Dave, in November and December.
Yeah. Do you know who I've been really impressed with? That guy Smith Rowe. He looks a proper player, doesn't he? He looks like Saka as well, to be fair. Saka and Smith Rowe. Those two boys now, you want to get them on long contracts because you know what I mean? You want to get them on.
This is the issue with Arteta a little bit. It took us being 15th, 16th in the table, and December 26th is the date that we're going to remember, I think, when he went to Emile Smith-Rowe and told him he was going to start the night before the Chelsea game. And we jumped up on Chelsea and beat them. You mentioned Lampard, Jack. I was always of the thinking that Chelsea would not stick with Frank Lampard for the full season. For the full season,
every week.
For the full season, but I am scared of who's the guy now? Tuchel. He is a decent manager, and he's gonna take them places this year. He'll be a dark horse for the Champions League, I would think, this year.
Yeah. Well, I think they'll get past Porto, and they could meet us in the semi, or obviously us or Madrid in the semi, and chance. You never know. Obviously, if we get there.
He knows how to get the best out of any given team through coaching and putting them in the right position. Now, Tuchel has famously got that reputation of falling out with the hierarchy within the club. I could see that happening maybe next season with Chelsea, but they're dangerous till the end of this season.
Yeah, no shot.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem with Liverpool league-wise. I mean, so many good teams ahead of us to get top 4. I mean, City have basically won the league. Let's be frank about it. United. Good chance of coming second, although Leicester, are far are in around second as well, I suppose. And then you've got the likes of Chelsea. I mean, is Liverpool? We'd want to go on some run, Jack. I think we'd want to win all our games and hope 1 or 2 slip up. Have any chance? Any chance?
It's so important. I think I've spoken to you, Dave, and everyone on social media or the Reds, and that we want to see a build-up of performance into next season. I think it's so important that we do start next season on a high. Yes, we've not had the best run this season. I think everyone can agree with that. And obviously, Ray, from an outside point of view, everyone's been shocked by Liverpool. But I think this season in the window will be so integral for Liverpool. Who we sign this season, come into this transfer window, it's only so important how we do start next season. You've got Van Dijk coming back, Gomez coming back as well, Jordan Henderson coming back fully fit, and yet again, as you mentioned, internationals, you never know what's going to happen with any clubs. They could get serious long-term injuries anyway in the Euros or whatever, this World Cup. I don't even pay attention to what we're going into, but we need to at least get Champions League football as a minimum, but I think Liverpool have left it too late.
I mean, Jack, there's only 2 ways: an unbelievable run or win the Champions League. I mean,
Yeah.
Ray has an outside chance of they have a good chance, I think. There are probably 2 or 3 teams that can win the Europa League, and that's one way in. That's one shoe in the door.
Yeah.
So it's possible, you know what I mean? League-wise, you probably aren't going to do it either, to be fair.
Apologies there, boys. Me mum, I don't know if you've seen her, she was shoving an egg right in my face. Yeah, she was,
an Easter egg, was it?
Yeah,
an Easter egg.
Oh, good stuff.
Happy Easter, guys, by the way. Happy Easter. Where's my Easter egg? Where's my Easter egg?
Are we sponsored by Dairy Milk today? Yeah,
Cedric. Thanks for that, Cedric. The name's Ray as well.
Yeah. Cedric Lopez, to the Arsenal guy, not sure of his name. Sorry. Rest in peace, Claude. He will be missed from a Liverpool fan. I hope they do a minute silence. I don't know. What do you think? Arsenal did say something on Twitter. I've seen.
Arsenal Twitter gets a lot of flack, but they did the right thing. They did put some nice postings up about Claude as well.
Yeah.
Of course, this is the week of 20 years passing of Rocky Rocastle as well. So it would be remiss of me as an Arsenal fan not to mention the legend that is David Rocastle.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll have a little chat about. We'll have a little chat about David Rocastle. I'll always remember him in that yellow JVC kit, the JVC sponsor with the yellow and the blue arms. Do you remember the one?
Yep.
I think it was Adidas. That was a great kit. They played over here in Dublin, actually. It was in the 90s, early 90s, I think it was. And they played in Dalymount Park in a friendly against Bohemians or someone like that. And I always remember him on the pitch. He was a big, strong, similar build to John Barnes type of player. What a player he was. Rocastle.
Yeah,
David
of course.
Rocastle.
He went up against John Barnes a lot. I mean, I'm going to go back to 80. Remind you a little bit of 89 now, a little bit, Dave.
Don't mention 89. That last minute Michael Thomas goal at Anfield. I can't watch that. I've seen it so many times.
My dad was in the ground for that as well.
Oh no, Jack!
Like it was. I've seen the documentaries on it. It's like went up on like the league seasons in which we didn't win. That was so notable. It was crazy. It was like it was written in the stars. Liverpool player as well, and the emotions. The emotions Michael would have went through. Like, would have been so happy that he scored, and then
but he hadn't played for Liverpool.
He didn't go to Liverpool till
he went to Liverpool in the 90s. You lunatic.
Did he?
He went on to win another league title with us in '91, and then he went to Liverpool. Actually, he won an FA Cup for you, right?
Scored an unbelievable goal in the FA Cup final. Him and Rush, what a finish against Sunderland, was a 2-0. And like a half volley top corner. But still, I mean, he took the title away. 30 seconds to go.
Let me go back to the autumn before '89. David Rocastle, there was a League Cup game. I think it went like 3 or 4 games. Liverpool, Arsenal. I think eventually you were to beat us in the League Cup that year. But David Rocastle scored a great goal at Anfield. And I really believe, looking back at that now, that gave the whole team a lot of confidence to go to Anfield in May and to do what they did on that fateful night. We won't go. I mean, it's a long time. I won't mention that anymore, though.
That was we did a very bad year that year, of course. Like with Hillsborough and stuff. That was that was a nightmare year for Liverpool. Yeah. We would have done the double that year. We'd won the FA Cup. That was the league. Mm-hmm. And what a way that would have been to finish the season that we had, the season with Hillsborough and stuff, to win, to get beaten that way. I mean, wow, that was just. And then we went on the following year and won it.
Yeah, you came back in the 90s.
We came back in 1990. Sorry, we won it in 90. You won it in 91, and Leeds won it in 92. Is that right?
Yep.
So, that was an unbelievable comp when you think about it. Been down in the from what all the things that had happened to you, to come back and then win it. That's unbelievable.
And of course, in '89, a nice touch by Arsenal bringing the flowers out as well to the crowd. So definitely we had solidarity with the club at the time. Terrible losing people. A lot of lives lost needlessly.
But I always love going back, a little bit of nostalgia. We're going back to '89, like that's 32 years ago. Wow. But back to present day. Jack was only in it. It wasn't even. Don't even think Jack was born.
I think I was -6. I think at the time.
-6. That's what I mean. What?
Yeah.
32, I was in the pub, are you mad? But 32 years ago. Well, not exactly, but close to the pub. But yeah, I mean, football was different them days, of course, Ray. I mean, it was a different football. The ground, it's a business now. The football wasn't a business in the 80s, even the early 90s. When Sky came in, it really changed everything. It was Sky Sports.
Prices to get in the grounds then were crazy, weren't they? It was like 50p to get in, or like
50p? What do you go on about? 50p?
He's not that old, Jack.
That's for someone that's minus. Yeah, what age are you? -6. That's 50p for you.
No, I was going to say that was a bit further back then, anyway. So, but it's crazy. It's crazy how advanced you lose some good stuff, and you gain a lot of good stuff, and then obviously gain a lot of negatives. But it's a sign of times. Obviously, football did have to move on anyway. I just wish it was a bit more accessible for a lot of people around the world to go to game. It's obviously it's so difficult for any, not just Liverpool fan. Yeah, not just for Liverpool fans, but obviously
get into the ground.
Yeah, Arsenal fans or anywhere opposition fans.
Yeah, you kind of have to know somebody, right, who's going to hook you up with a ticket, or you have to be part of a supporters club or something like that.
I'm starting to get to know a lot of people in the last 2 years. Unbelievable the amount of people now I know, but it's who you know nearly to get into the ground. That's what it is. If you're not a season ticket holder, it's who you know, not what you know.
Yeah.
I had a great story a few years ago, October 19 actually. It was the Liverpool Leicester City game, the 2-1, the Milner last minute goal. The year we won the league, 2019, the October game.
That was
we beat Leicester.
Great win.
I was in Dublin Airport, 6:30 in the morning flight to Liverpool. I'm sitting in the foyer having a coffee. I think it was a coffee. I don't think it was a beer, 6:30. But
Irish coffee.
Having a coffee. And I get a text on me. I'd sent a message out the day before on Twitter saying, anybody with a ticket, more of it. Listen, I was coming over to Liverpool anyway. I was doing a thing with Redmen TV on the Monday. I was hoping to meet Jack, which I actually didn't that weekend.
I was sick that game.
You were sick?
Yes, I was.
I didn't see it. And
standard for me, that was.
I know. And so I was over there actually for 3 days because I flew in on the Saturday morning really early, and I didn't go back until Monday night late, the 8:30 flight in Manchester. I had to go to Manchester because I couldn't fly. I couldn't fly to Liverpool. A lot of the bloody tickets were booked out. Everybody wanted to go because we knew we were going to win the league that year. We were on a roll. But I actually got a text message in the airport at 6:30 that day, the match day. I'll meet you outside the ground. I've got a ticket for you. 4 Cork fellas. What? Only 4 of them had season tickets, but only one of them could go. The other fella was sick. Holy Moses! Like once in a million. Like.
So you had put the feelers out, and somebody responded, right, Dave?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
that's
what you need. Other than that, or you need or else you need someone who is either involved at Liverpool or something like that, which might happen. Might happen, you know what I mean? But
just ask Kenny when we see him now.
Yeah. What else have we got, guys? Put in the comments. Get a few questions here. Get your predictions in for the last 10 minutes of this show. In about another 10 minutes time, when we finish talking about the big game I'm gonna, as I said to Ray earlier, we're gonna have a little nostalgic 10-minute 80s, 90s, baby. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna hit Ray with a few, you know what I mean? So you better get ready for them, Ray.
Go for it.
No, and about another 5-10. So anyway, back to the game. The big
let's get into the game.
The big one. It'd be nearly half time now in 24 hours. So hopefully Liverpool will win 2-0. I think I'm a time traveller. What's that? But I take any type of win, Ray. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think there'll be only a goal in it. Something like a 2-1 or, something like that. First goal's always important. As I said earlier, Jack, before you came in.
You say that, Dave, but, you scored against us last year. 1-0 up.
Yeah,
1 down.
That's true.
Liverpool are a weird team this season, right? I think you've watched us this season. Apart from the Champions League, like if we could play in the Champions League every week, we'd be sound this year. Because it obviously suits the way in which Liverpool do play our counter-attacking football.
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued. Obviously, Odegaard, Ray. I was going to ask you in the comment section below before I jumped on.
Yep.
How is he settled in? I know he's got a big reputation from Real Madrid anyway. He was at Real Sociedad. He was on loan a couple of seasons.
Sociedad, and he was in Holland before. He's been loaned out. He's obviously a talent, right, from a young age. He's still young. I would say he settled in too well. He settled in so well that Real Madrid is going to start to take notice again. You know, so that's the good and the bad of it, right? You got a player on loan that you possibly want to keep. I'm sure the players, he feels at home now there in London. He might like the city. I think Scandinavian players will settle in England, I think, a lot easier than other countries. We've seen that historically down through the years. So he's done brilliantly. He settled in, he got his fitness up, and he's done brilliantly. Almost to the point where we're probably going to have to get the best out of him, go all the way in the Europa League, hopefully win it. And then we have a hell of a struggle to try to keep him this season. Because while Zidane may not like him, I think there's a personality thing. Zidane doesn't like him. As long as Zidane is the coach in Madrid, we may have a fighting chance. But I think that Madrid will have taken notice of what he's done. Obviously, he scored a few goals. He was probably our best player against West Ham.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be very important, Jack, tomorrow. Watch him. By the way he moves the ball, he's able to move defenders. He'll be moving Liverpool defenders to funnel into him centrally. And that out ball to Chambers worked quite well against West Ham after he funneled some of those players into the center. He's a clever player.
Is he similar to in the mould of Coutinho, mate, or is he completely different players?
I would say he's pretty similar. He's got a good shot. He's been encouraged to take that shot now. You've seen a couple of Europa League goals in the last round against Olympiacos. Coutinho's got more of a through ball to him. So Odegaard likes to hold on to the ball a little bit more and bring it forward. Definitely, who's going to be mandated? Will it be Fabinho will be mandated to mark him? And that'll be a key battle to watch out for, Jack.
Let me see a question there.
Yeah, I'll jump into
that. For you. Go ahead.
What's my biggest concern in defense from Liverpool? Salah versus Gabriel or Mane versus Holding. So Gabriel will be a starter. Tierney will be going up directly against Salah. We're in trouble if Gabriel gets to Salah. Salah's a dangerous player in the box. We got to be very, very careful with him. I will say controversially, he does go down a little bit easily. Mo Salah does. Mane has been very quiet this season. Whilst David Luiz has a reported knee injury, I believe that Luiz will probably play. Holding did really, really well against Mane, and that's probably a rivalry if Holding plays tomorrow to watch out for, because Holding's one of those defenders who likes to have a body against him, and he'll get that with Sadio Mane. Holding doesn't do well with players who like to run off of him. Mane likes to back into players. At least that's my thinking on him. Tell me if I'm wrong there, but I actually think Luiz will come back. He would probably be the preferred partner with Gabriel there.
Yeah. I see Kelly. Which game is more important for both clubs, tomorrow or Europe in the midweek? I think both of them marry into each other for the fact that confidence tomorrow, you want to get a win or a performance tomorrow to bring it into the European game. You know what I mean? So they're sort of marrying each other, these games. That's what I think. They're as important as each other.
And I think what you'll see as well, both coaches, both managers will pick the same team and probably roll the same team out on Tuesday and Thursday. My answer would be the more important is the Europa League right now. At best, I'm looking at 6th place for Arsenal, which probably will get us back into Europa League. But we want to obviously go all the way in the Europe and win the Europa League this year. It's going to be tough to do that, though.
Yeah. Now, Jack, what do you think? Liverpool, obviously, what I think is both games are like, as important as each other. It's like a starter and a main course for me. This is the starter, but you want to enjoy it. Then you can enjoy your main course. You know what I mean? You don't have a dodgy starter and then say, what was that all about? And then you won't enjoy your main course. So for me, both games are important. But Europe, I mean, European Cup, you win the European Cup, it's number 7, and you're in the Champions League next year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Momentum is such a big thing in football. And I think if you go off the back of a great win for both sides, obviously getting goals under the belt for a couple of the key players, obviously Saka will be a key one if Arsenal can get him back fully fit. And he's been one of my most excited players in which I've watched. Gutted he signed his contract not too long ago anyway, because I think Jurgen Klopp, nothing big come out, but I think Jurgen Klopp was a massive admirer of Saka. I think he tried to persuade him to join Liverpool, obviously get him not to sign that contract, but he's been hands down for me from outside point of view Arsenal's best player this season. Yeah, it's great to see a young lad just have the confidence. But you look at like the likes of Aubameyang, Lacazette, those two lads are on 250 grand a week.
More.
Yeah, and that lad is putting in 4 times much effort for the shirt. And as me and Ray and we spoke over the years, haven't we, mate, with Dave? That's what you want. You want players that will give you attitude and quality. Even better if you give you quality like Saka. He's got more of a final ball to his game. He's still a young player, but I think in the coming years he will develop that side of his game, his vision when he gets into the final third. But yeah, it's so integral for both sides. European competition, it can save both of our seasons if both of us win the Europa League and the Champions League. That'll be massive. Obviously, both of us will have Champions League football come the end of this season, which is a plus, which is what we wanted. Hopefully. But yeah, both teams that play nice, expansive, expressive football the way it should be, not park the bus, sit behind the ball and hope to win. We know certain teams that love to do that and got beat in the last round of the Europa League. So yeah, that's great. Can we talk about that? Tottenham?
Talk about Tottenham. That was a nice one.
That, mate.
Definitely. 2-0 up, 3-2 down, right? Yes, Saka has carried Arsenal this year. We talked about this year being about developing the youth at Arsenal, and they've carried the guys that are getting the bigger bucks. They've been carried this season. Lacazette's played quite well, but Aubameyang has been not a factor in many games, but if he's going to be in some games, he's going to score two goals. He's going to make himself be known. John Moore, I'll answer this question. Yeah, what were we smoking for that Suarez? If we'd have gotten a Suarez or if we'd have gotten a Vardy, I think in the last 5 years we would have gotten probably a league title within the last 5 years if we gotten that Vardy deal. Well, I think Arsenal just got a little bit too cute for their own boots there, and apparently misread the contract there, Dave and Jack. You know, 40 million plus one. It's kind of embarrassing. It's an embarrassment to us. We're bantered about that.
It just shows the lack of leadership at the top, mate. And I think obviously Arsenal at that time there was. Like similar Liverpool got prior to FSG, we had the obviously 2 cowboys running our club. It's leadership in terms of the managerial seat is so important for any club. Obviously, the board you need to be one-on-one. You need to be like-minded, whether that's recruiting players or selling players, i.e., the right players that are not fit for purpose, and obviously try and resell. But yeah, I think. The big switch from Liverpool, Dave and everyone at home, isn't it? The people at top, Michael Edwards and Jurgen Klopp, have got such a great understanding in terms of players, who they want in, the type of player, the type of quality of player as well. And I think that's what's catapulted Liverpool from being 6th, 7th. And obviously, yes, Jurgen was the big factor, but the player recruitment was the biggest, most important thing in terms of getting Liverpool to where we are now, winning the European Cup and obviously winning the Premier League after 30 years.
Yeah. There's another question for you there, Ray, from Brian Fitz.
Listen, I think in some ways we're shoehorning Aubameyang into the lineups here, and we're trying to kickstart him a little bit. So he's either going to be a factor tomorrow or he's not. You're not going to know until he maybe puts it in the net. You know what I mean? That's what he is. He is a finisher. he will come off of the left versus Phillips, I believe.
Yeah.
I think we can get some joy against your centre backs, Phillips and Kabak. And obviously, you got your three boys up front. Mane, probably Jota and Salah will give us fits and starts. And but I do think on the right hand side is going to be Pepe. Will get the start. Saka has played too many minutes for a teenager. I think he's 19. He's definitely carried the team, Jack, this year, and we're seeing maybe the effects of him going to pick up an injury here and there towards the end of the season. So Nicola Pepe will come in, I think, and he's played a lot better in recent months as well.
Yeah, Jack. Bobby No Look is fit for tomorrow, but he's a good record against Arsenal, as I said to Ray earlier. It's a really good goal scoring record against and assists against Arsenal. Probably his best team is Arsenal. He's fit and raring to go. And I heard Klopp talking today about him, nearly hinting that he could be on the pitch. Now, he could play a 10. He could play in behind the front three. It's possible. But away from home, a good attacking side like Arsenal, I think our three will be that fulcrum, as I said earlier, the Thiago, Gini, fabulous Fabinho. But I think it has to be Jota, Mane, Salah. Has to be.
Yeah, if it was up to us fans, I think we'd all pick Jota. But Jürgen, it's whether if he wants to play Bobby, he never drops Bobby in a big game in Europe. I think he loves playing Bobby in a big tie, obviously. And I think it will be interesting to see if he does shoehorn him in, as Ray said, with certain players. If he does give him a bit more minutes, ideally we want Jota to start, hands down, don't we? With Mane and Salah.
Yeah,
you should ask me, actually, as an Arsenal fan, who I would fear more, and that's Jota, for sure.
Jota's the boy. Jota has got to start tomorrow, baby. John Moore, Dave, what do you and Jack think about starting Jones? Think the England game showed he has a bit of fight in him. Yeah, he got sent off in the under 21s or something, did he?
Yeah, it was disgusting. I don't know if it was official.
I didn't see it now. But
I think Twitter, I haven't read too much, I don't want to delve too into it, but apparently I saw some reports that it was like racial sort of happened after the game or something. I haven't read too much into it, but Curtis Jones, his attitude, his qualities there, mate, innit? And I think a game against Arsenal, is Thomas Partey being injured, right, for big chunks of this season? He's not in contention, is he?
He will be in contention. He played, I think, one game for Ghana. He went away on international duty. I think in terms of the 2 weeks or 3 weeks off, he will have benefited from that, Jack, because he was playing on fumes against Tottenham in the last 10 minutes. Actually, got so tired he kicked the ball, passing the ball back to David Luiz, kicked it out for a corner. So in the last 10 minutes, he was running out of gas 3 weeks ago. He'll come on. He'll have come on for that West Ham game, and will have come on for the international game as well. Also, Aubameyang has scored away with Gabon as well and set up a goal. So, I'd be a little bit worried about, as Liverpool fans, I'd be a little bit worried about Partey and Aubameyang probably tomorrow.
Yeah,
here's my mate Alan Arkin. Shocking result today, Dahi. Losing 3-0 away to Cooper. He's a Coventry City fan, by the way. I thought we had problems. Go on.
I know a Cardiff City fan as well. They lost today against Forest. Mick McCarthy's probably not going to take them up into the Premiership.
Oh my God! Don't mention the Ireland team losing to Luxembourg. What the fuck? What?
I
don't give two craps about England anyway.
I know.
Dave, so Dave will know this. The last time I was interested probably was when Roy Keane was playing. He took us to South Korea World Cup.
The Saipan.
Yeah, but he was immense in the qualifying series. He dragged a reasonably decent Irish team, not great, but he dragged us into the World Cup finals. But yeah, there's my co-host in the comments there. Shout out to Gunded News. Mahir's in the comments.
Over here.
Do you see that guy Alan Arkins, my mate Alan here? His brother is Jimmy Rabbit in The Commitments.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah.
Do you know The Commitments, the film, the Irish film? His brother was the manager. There's a nice shout out for you now, Alan. There you go. Superstar.
What was he? Jimmy Rabbit, was it?
Yeah, I remember the manager, the Dublin fella. Yeah, that's his brother. Yeah. Shout out to everyone. Much love. Gundit News. I remember him. He was a top guy. How are you, baby?
Yeah.
Hopefully well. Get your predictions in, guys. For the last, in about another 5 minutes, we're going to do a little 10-minute 80s show where I'm going to throw, well, not 80s for Jack. I mean, maybe noughties for Jack.
I think I might get off after that. Like it's gonna be like I wouldn't even have a clue.
I've got a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
Your fullbacks, what's going on? Is Trent having a bad season? Is Robertson having a bad season?
It comes.
They're not lighting up, right?
Yeah.
Both I think having a bad season.
Yeah, I think
about it.
Yeah, Trent's had the better second half of the season. Robbo started very well. Robbo's been very consistent, 6, 7 out of 10s most weeks. Not a majorly special. Trent, it all comes down to I think the centre back pairing. We've had over 20 plus partnerships at the back, different partnerships, and I think for any team in the whole of Europe that is changing the amount of centre backs in which we have, it's going to leave exposed your right back and your left back. And I think Alisson suffered, Trent suffered, and Robbo suffered, obviously, with not having a stable centre back pairing, because all of them have been all around the shop, really, when opposition teams, they've looked to isolate Trent some weeks, look to isolate Robbo some weeks, and then, but I think come next season, we'll see the best of those two again, because we'll see Fabinho back in the hole. We've seen Fabinho playing centre-back this season, Ray, and a lot of Arsenal fans. And that's not his position. And as me and Dave have said, and all the Reds, you've seen what Fabinho has done within the last 5-6 weeks. He's transformed this Liverpool team so much. But it's just been poor defensive errors all around the pitch. Not highlighting Robbo or Trent. The whole team collective at the back haven't been good enough, but that's due down to injuries. And I think in the summer we need to get back, get a couple of big signings in at the back as well, and box that off, mate. But Dave, what do you reckon?
Well, as we said to Ray earlier before you came on, I think the midfield is where the game's won and lost tomorrow. I really do. And if he goes with Thiago, Fabinho, well, he's definitely going to go with those two. It's whether he has Genie, and he's played a lot of football, but I think he will. He trusts Genie. He loves Genie in the big game, especially away from home. He loves that fulcrum. I mean, Genie, he runs around with Red Bull, 6-pack of Red Bull tied around his waist, full of energy. Fabinho's there. He's just given us so much. He just protects the back four. And then, of course, you have Thiago, the enigma, Thiago, who can put the ball through an eye of a needle. We know what he can do. He's on his day. He's wow. So I think that'll be the three. So I think it's what Arsenal do to counter that. I think that's where the game's won. Obviously, it's won and lost scoring goals up front. But those three feeding the ball, you know what I mean?
It's own segue, right? Like, since you've watched Arsenal, and all the Gunners watched Arsenal, Partey is an absolute disgrace at how good he is at football. Like, Who? Partey? Yeah, Partey.
He's been at too many parties, that fella, I can tell you.
If he keeps on getting injured by the looks of it, I think so. But no, he's transformed. I think that's something that Arsenal have needed since the likes of Petit and the Vieiras anyway. He's got that physicality about him. Yeah. When we played Atletico in the Champions League last season, we got knocked out by them, but he absolutely dominated our midfield. Like, I know Liverpool dominated that game, but his physicality was causing Liverpool so many problems that game, and I think it's going to be important that who Arsenal do get in that midfield, whether you do stick with Xhaka or you do go with another creative midfielder. We've spoken about Fabinho there, how important he has been, and I think going forward, if Arsenal have want to win trophies or push for at least the top of the league, Thomas Partey is going to be the big key player.
So we talked about this a little bit earlier. That has to be our summer. Number one priority is to get a partner for Partey. So the Granit Xhaka, Partey has minimized the mistakes from Granit Xhaka. Now, obviously, playing out from the back is going to be an issue. I think it's something we've had issues with in the last few weeks. You've seen against Burnley, and there was another game we were playing out from the back. Even we got caught from West Ham as well recently. So those are high-profile mistakes that I think will cause the team to be more concentrated. I think if you have mistakes at the back, you're going to be more concentrated. Bernd Leno, I think he's got a little bit easy. He's got a little bit easy with that number one spot in terms of not having competition behind him. We all know about Martinez going to Aston Villa, doing really, really well there. I'm teeing you up. But Partey, that's the number one position that we got to go get filled. So the Granit Xhaka is the player who's sitting on the bench, and we need him to come in and control the game. I think Partey and Xhaka. Partey is probably that player that makes every player he plays with in midfield, he makes them look better because he can do so much more than his own job, Jack. So
yeah, I hope Thomas isn't partying tomorrow night. But Tom May here, 22 different partnerships for Liverpool. Liverpool's like a law firm, full of partnerships at the back, baby. But he's right. Tom May is absolutely on the button there. But here's another good one for you, I think, Jackie boy. Is it Trent not playing for England? I was delighted when he wasn't playing for England. To be fair,
Eamon, I was absolutely. I think always rubbing our hands together. So Trent sat there playing on FIFA all weekend with his family, getting a roast in and off his man, and then he's happy.
Hasn't it got to the stage where we want him to do like an Alec Ferguson? Create these phantom injuries for these players. We're not sending them.
I think Klopp's probably tapped him on the shoulder and went, "None of yous are going unless I have to row with the governments, like head FAs around the world. So half of yous aren't even going."
It's a very touchy subject, Jack, because the players play for the clubs. The clubs pay their wages, but we have to give them their services to their country. The players want to play in the bigger tournaments, and so it's a tough situation. And with a compressed season, we're going to run into injuries, and the club suffers at the end of the day.
I think next season will be the big one. We got the competition anyway. It'll be, I think Ray and Dave mentioned it, everyone at the top of the show, that there will be some time in the next 6 to 12 months where all the players start getting injured just for the sheer amount of games you've all played. And obviously you can jam in all the fixtures in at the minute, which you have to do to get the season finished, mate. But it's going to be worrying, not just for Liverpool, but injuries. I think you will see a lot of big injuries come the beginning of this next season, or just the back end of next season.
Yeah. I think Jota, as he's John Moore saying there, Jota will start and probably bring Bobby on last half hour or like Klopp last 10 minutes. You know what I mean? It depends on the game's going. I mean, listen, Klopp could have something up his sleeve and could start Bobby. No, look, tomorrow. I'm telling you guys. Here's a nice little sentence from Rory Fitz to you, Ray. Here, I'll just pop that up on the screen.
Yeah. Thanks, Rory. Yeah, nice. You can catch me over at Arsenal Fan Circle on YouTube, or if you want to drop in.
Yeah. I'll put your description down below for the fan channel, Arsenal Fan Circle on YouTube. And Twitter, isn't it? Arsenal Fan Circle on YouTube.
Arsenal Circle on Twitter.
Arsenal Circle. So check him out. As you know, Ray's top. He does have great guys on. Gundit News does be on. You don't have loads of fellas on, don't you?
Yeah, listen, we sort of settled into a consistent panel now, but from time to time we will have other guests coming in here and there.
Yeah.
Like I brought you and Jack in the start of the season was the third game of the season. It was the start of the season. It was like, okay, we'll catch up in April when the return game's coming, and here we are.
There's one for you there. Tom May. I think Partey and Torreira would be a good partnership with Torreira. Is it Torreira wants to leave? He wants to leave Arsenal, does he?
Yeah, so listen, we've talked about Arteta sort of identifying players and his judgment has been shown to be pretty good for the most part. We talked about Guendouzi, Mustafi, who you guys didn't take in January. You really should have taken Skydran up there at Anfield. But I feel sorry for Torreira, a player who played in the last World Cup and marked Ronaldo out of the game. Torreira did. You have to remember that, right? Came to Arsenal, played really, really well in the first season. Had his moment, scoring in the North London Derby against Tottenham, 4-2 win a couple of seasons ago. But Emery wanted to play him higher up the field in more of an high 8 or a 10, trying to break up the play and turn direction of football going the other way quickly. He was never that kind of player. He was always a deep line player. We facilitated getting Partey by sending Torreira to Atletico, and he hasn't had many minutes there. So he just
what happened with that, Ray? Because didn't he move and then he was like he didn't want to be there like on the last
So Atletico were taking him on loan, and we were trying to negotiate for Our and also Partey last summer. Our, it was just so difficult to deal with the Lyon president. He's difficult negotiator. If you guys are going after Our, it's going to be you'll have to stump up the money to get him. So we exhausted all avenues trying to get Our in the summer, and we just ran out of time. And while Torreira was on loan at Atletico, we pulled a sort of fast one. Went to Spain, bought the release. We paid the release clause because in Spain every player has a release clause. You don't actually have to talk. You don't actually have to talk to the club in hand. You just have to go and pay the release clause.
That's where they got the word Santa Claus for the release clause. Santa Claus is Spanish, so, you know what I
mean? we pulled a Swifty there. We took Partey, we took their best player, and we gave them pretty much Torreira in his stead. You know, a player that I think Arteta, and this happens. A manager comes in, he's not going to like every player in his squad, and Torreira didn't fancy Torreira. And unfortunately, he lost his mother as well recently due to COVID. So condolences to Lucas Torreira and his family. But he wants to go back to Boca Juniors now. Probably in the throes of sorrow, he's thinking this way. We're probably going to take a financial hit on that. We're not going to recoup the money on Torreira. It's just looking at his time at Arsenal. It's not one that it's going to end happily for him. You know.
Yeah. There's an Irish 11 from Alan Arkins. Kelleher in goal, Finnan, Staunton, Babb, Lawrenson, Whelan, McAteer, Houghton, Aldridge, Keane, Highway. I think half of them are English, but anyway, you know what I mean. Born in England or born in Liverpool, probably.
Put Dave O'Leary in there, maybe a Stapleton, right?
No, but it's Liverpool players.
Okay. Very good. Eamon, Eamon's got a question there. Yes, I would swap the Invincible season for the Champions League. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Pizza. You didn't even get a trophy for the Invincible season. I mean, it's not a trophy, so I think you actually got. Do you know what? I think you did get a piece of silverware. I think you got gold, didn't you?
It's golden.
You got the golden, the golden.
I mean, it's a nice thing to have. It's probably never going to be done again.
We should have done it, not right, Jack?
Never say never.
Done it. Yeah.
Never say never. But it's so tough to go through.
It's so difficult. It's so difficult.
People will try to knock the fact that we have a lot of draws in there. I think we won 24 and drew 12 in a 36-game season, but it's not easy to do it. And people also, Arsenal fans, will try to knock the 22 unbeaten for Emery as well. I don't think if you go 22 unbeaten, you're doing something right. It's not luck.
No. That's a good run.
Yeah.
But
come so close with that against Barcelona, that final, Lehman getting sent off. I remember I was a kid watching that game. It was like, what is happening here? It was his red card. It was crazy.
After 12 minutes, the game's over. You go goal up and you're hanging on. And
it's crazy
against that team.
So, guys, we're going to do the last 10, 15 minutes of this show. If you can hang around, Ray, I don't know, but
I will, yeah.
We're just going to mix it up for 10
first, right?
We're going to do. Oh yeah, don't worry, baby. That's coming.
Let me ask you one thing. This is important now. It used to never be important, but who's the referee tomorrow? Anyone know that?
Don't even know.
Chats.
Yeah,
but it's important, right?
Well,
I think
the way
it's
things are going, it's important. Who?
Shouldn't be.
I think it might be Atkinson. I know it's. I think it is a terrible duo.
He's like Martin Atkinson. He's probably on VAR. That's the problem. Fuck's sake. You know what I mean? That is a good question. I actually don't know. Actually, I could check it on my phone here.
It's usually the day. I used to never check this, but it used to be the day before now because be respectful.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is, Ray? It's becoming more important than it should be.
Yeah.
A referee shouldn't have any, real influence on the game. Let's be fair. Should just let the game go, But now the referee is becoming really, so influential. The VAR as well. I know that's not the ref on the pitch, but the VAR, the ref or the fourth official or whatever it is in the VAR ref is bloody another joke. We won't even go there. But it ruins the football. It ruins it for me. Do you know why? It takes away goal reactions.
Mm-hmm.
A goal goes in, 50-man move. They go back to the halfway line 3 minutes ago where someone spilled a cup of tea. Someone spilled a cup of tea in the sideline.
That was you, Jack.
Jack.
Yeah.
So, but you know.
Oh yeah, remember that? Oh, your one wasn't happy.
But I mean, it's crazy. It's taken away from the whole organicness. It's organic football. Should be organic.
Oh, Dave,
and orgasmic at the end when the goal goes in.
Would you go back to the way it was then, Dave? Have the mistakes, but at least you have the
human error. The human error. Human error.
It's still human error, right?
Yeah, but they're still making human error with VAR. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's we've got it, boys. I found who it is. Get on this, everyone. The referees for the big game. Referee, you got Stuart Atwell. Assistants.
Stuart Atwell's okay.
Hasdius. I can't even pronounce that. Hatzikas or something. Sean Massey. Fourth official, Andrew Mariner. VAR, John Moss. Oh no.
Oh no.
And then assistant VAR, Andy Holiday.
He's on a holiday.
He'll be on a holiday in that VAR room anyway. But yeah, no.
Why do you need an assistant VAR now? You know, it's just gone ridiculous.
It's crazy, man.
It is crazy. It is.
Probably want to answer the phone off Fergie or something, innit?
But there's the thing. You mentioned referees right near the end of the show. I mean, I try not even think about the fucking referee. Let's be real here, because it's about football. It's about the 11 players on each team, and it's even about the manager on the sideline. To be fair, you know, the squad, whatever you want to call it, the group. But to talk about the fucking, I want the referee to be anonymous. I don't even want to know he's on the pitch. And that's when you know you've got a good ref, when you don't even hear about him.
That's how far we've come, though. I'm asking who's the referee. We all want to know who's the referee beforehand.
I'd rather not know. That was the problem. You asked the question.
It's like it's crazy, but everyone knows.
It's crazy.
Like, you see how well it's used in the Europa and the Champions League. They're so quick in the Champions League. If you watch the refs, they're like whoa, 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 and you're like, whoa, sounds. The game hasn't even stopped. Someone's been sent off or happy days. But like, it's so quick. It just comes down to the individuals using the technology. The technology, yes, it's sound. There might be grey hairs within certain rules which need polishing off this season, which will be the offside rule. I think that's a big key factor anyway. But it's the people in charge, mate. Even if we have to go and spend thousands of pounds, the FA or the Premier League, to get the best officials in the Premier League, it's a multi-billion-dollar company, and teams get relegated and get promoted on these people in the middle of the pitch making these decisions. It's so important. You've got a multi-billion-dollar company, and you've got silly sausages in the middle of the pitch doing the wrong decisions.
And you know what? The English refs are not getting the big competitions. They're not getting the World Cups.
They used to, didn't they? Though, right? Like they used to get the Champions League, the World Cups, and then it was a Clattenburg that went to Saudi Arabia or China for the thousands of pounds. That there is your problem, right there. It's plain and simple. And the Premier League should have went, right, he's one of our best referees. We want to keep him.
Yeah.
We've all seen that Australian A-League clip, right? Where they're using VAR perfectly. That's the way it should be used.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, guys. We're going to do a quick prediction now. I'm going to ask you, put you on the spot. Try give me goal scorers. It doesn't really matter, to be fair. It's only a fun thing. What do you think the scoreline will be tomorrow? Ray, let's go.
Listen, the easy thing to say, it's a draw, right? And we've got two teams that are Jekyll and Hyde. I actually think we're going to win this game. Arsenal fans will look back at the West Ham game and wonder which team we're going to have. The biggest thing Liverpool need is to probably come out and start well against us, because we traditionally start our games very, very slowly.
And
we grow into it, obviously. I think we'll win 2-1. I think Aubameyang will get on the end of one of them, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say Partey will score from long range. He's got to score a goal by the end of the season. So
yeah, hopefully not tomorrow night. So you're saying 2-1, Ray, to
2-1.
Arsenal, obviously.
I
Jack?
will give Mane your goal. I think he's been very, very quiet all season. He's got to come alive at some point, right? He's probably under pressure, right? Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think he gives you. He can do anything on the pitch. That fella, you know, if he has a good game, you nearly win it. Just him having a good game.
He's his own worst enemy, I think. Right? Like
Yeah.
the standard in which Salah and Mane have done over the last 3-4 seasons. So when Mane was a joint goal scorer with Aubameyang, most notably, and obviously Salah that season. I think next season you will see a better Mane. I think he'll be frustrated himself, but it's carbon copy of like what we've seen. But I think I'll go with a 3-1 Liverpool. It depends how Arsenal deal. When I've watched Arsenal at the back, I've been frustrated watching them, Ray, because I know I want them to win for you because you're a good mate anyway. But it's frustrating. Like if Luis or whoever's at the back, or if Leno keeps on doing what he's been doing at the minute, Ray, like the last couple of weeks, like players that are passing the ball. Yes, Arteta wants to play this expansive passing it around the back. Sometimes you just wish your goalie or your defender would just hoover up the pitch. I think that's where the development we'll see, and I think, but I think if Liverpool can press its Arsenal side into making those chances, but it'd be interesting to see how Arsenal do counter-attack Liverpool's defensive frailties. That's why I'm excited. I was going to go with 3-3, but I'm going to go with 3-1. No, 3-2. Yeah, 3-2.
3-2? It's 3-1 a minute ago. Who'll score? Who's the goal scorers?
Jota 2 and Mane, and then Partey and Odegaard for Arsenal. I think both sides this season, as you said, Jekyll and Hyde, whatever teams turn up at the weekends, we do not know. But as long as it's a good game of footy and a load of goals, which will be good.
You guys are saying a lot of goals. I think this is going to be a tight game. It's going to be a 1-0. This is going to be a tight game. Probably not the game we're expected, to be fair. It usually is when you come back from a long break. No one wants to make a mistake. No one wants to open up, even though both teams play open football. So I'm just being the pragmatic. I'm just being the pessimist here. I'm being a realist, to be honest.
I think
I did 1-0. I did be 1-0 Liverpool. Mo Salah, the king of Egypt. But to be honest, Ray, it'll be, as I say, tight game. It really will be a tight game. I'm just going to go 1-0.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit cagey. And just to counter what Jack was saying with Bernd Leno, I think he's been told to be a little bit more pragmatic. So don't be worried. I wouldn't be worried if he's going to kick a little bit longer balls into midfield rather than trying to play out from the back. I think we're going to try and feel out the press from Liverpool as such as well.
Are you happy David Luiz is injured?
I hope he plays.
Are you happy David Luiz is injured? Or is he injured for this game? Or is he playing?
I think he's been down. He's down for a knee injury, but I think they'll get him ready. And I think Granit Xhaka will be in as well. Granit Xhaka is a weak point in our midfielders. There's no mistake in that. Real quick there, Dave. Eamon is right. Arsenal are never best after an international break, and especially a night game as well, Dave.
Yeah, I love the game. Well, under lights, I know it's bright, but it will be, especially second half of the under lights. Oh,
love the night games. If you're watching it even on telly or if you want the game, night games were special.
I remember actually. I think it was a Liverpool Arsenal game back in late 80s, or it could have been early 88, maybe 87.
89.
I think. No, it wasn't 89. That was in the Emirates. But
flashbacks.
Listen, I'm going 1-0. Ray's going 2-1, obviously Arsenal, and Jackie Boy's going 3-2. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Put your predictions in the comments. We're not going to stay on long. We give it the hour and a half. So for the last 10 or 11 minutes, we're going to mix it up, baby. We're going to have a little bit of chat about something different. A bit anything goes. Obviously, keep it clean, as they say. Ray, you're first. You're the guest. You live in the States. You're an Irish man, but live in the States. So, if you went into a bar in the States, it doesn't have to be an Irish bar, by the way, but you just go into a bar and you went up to the barman. What would you be asking him for? A normal day, weekend. Give me something of what? What is it?
TV shows on now. Probably Big Bang Theory.
Show? I'm in the drink.
Pint of the black stuff, Dave. Pint of Guinness.
Oh, the Guinness trick. I can't drink that. I'm an Irishman. It's like soup. I can't drink it.
Yeah, like Guinness doesn't have any effect on you there.
I think I'm 40. I'm 48 next weekend. Next weekend, actually, and I think I've had 2 pints of Guinness.
It's good for your iron levels if you're drinking it.
Well, do you know what? I think over here they give you in Ireland anyway. If you're giving blood, they give you a pint of Guinness after you give blood, because it does the iron levels in your blood again. It builds it back up. So you have a choice of Guinness. If you're driving and stuff, you're not going to be drinking Guinness. But so you got, what would you have, pint of the black stuff? Well, you can't go wrong with that. Jackie boy, you're not mad into the old alcohol. You'd be more of a Milner Ribena boy, would you?
I don't want the cheeky bevy. More of me rum. I like me rum stuff anyway. Captain Morgan's, JD, depending on the occasion.
JD and Coke, and Coke, baby. Jack Daniels.
Like I get too tired with the pints. Go when you're swigging it,
heavy,
and then so much easier when you're drinking a little smaller drink, and then you can get
Peroni. Buy it now in a shop near you.
On your day, we should have been sponsored for this episode. Dairy Milk with this
product placement. But I'll tell you what, this stuff here, Peroni Italian. What is it? Nastro Azzurro. Oh my God, Thierry Unreal, baby. That is top stuff. Okay. We're going to mix it up again. As I say, another 7-8 minutes. We get the hour and a half and I'm out of here. You've grown up, obviously, in Ireland, Ray. Your favourite TV shows, you're similar vintage to me. So, obviously, going to have sort of similar shows. I remember back in late 70s, early 80s, obviously, we used to have all the UK, the BBC 1, BBC 2, UTV, Channel 4, that type of stuff. We only had 2 Irish channels. And I mean, RTE2 only came out in 1982. So we only had 1 channel if you were older. So what were your shows? The likes of Bosco and fucking 40 Coats, and what were you?
Yeah, Bosco. I can't believe I'm telling you this now. Wanderly Wagon, stuff like that.
Wanderly Wagon. I
don't know if you got that in the UK.
No, that's pure Irish. That
it is pure Irish. Bosco.
Bosco.
Yeah.
Jack, if you don't know what Bosco is, it's a little muppet that jumped up out of a box, and his name was Bosco. And you'd have it was similar to Rainbow, like in England, Rainbow.
Oh yeah, Zippy and
type of setup, Zippy and Bungle.
Oh, I used to remember. What was it? Wombles.
Was it? Wimbledon, Wombledons, Wombles are weird. That one, yeah.
It's a good show though.
Doug is saying he has no voice. Oh, he's sick. Doug is sick at the moment.
Look, you're right, La.
I hope you're all right, Dougie boy. Doug, the Dugout Football Channel. Very sorry. Stay safe, my friend.
Get well soon, Doug.
Yeah, I guess so.
But Doug,
yeah.
Dave probably puts with me. Yeah. So what do you, Bosco? Bosco would have been the one, yeah.
Tales of the Unexpected. Remember that one?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the music. I used to be afraid of that fucking music. The oak turning around. Do you remember that, Jack? When you
I think I've seen trailers. I don't know, like TV and film degree.
I remember being upstairs in my ma's house, and she'd have it on because it was I think it was a Sunday night, 9:30, 9, and I was probably 7 or 8. Like this would have been 79, 80, 81. Fucking music. Oh my G. It is scary.
It's probably
I see Aben in there in the chat as well. Irish TV was crap in the 80s. The big thing in the 80s, Dave, the big thing was Glen Rowe. Remember Glen Rowe?
No.
I've heard that. Was that a show as well? I've heard that.
Yeah. Well. It was a bit like Brookside or fucking that type of thing.
Is it like Hollyoaks of
no. Maybe it was more Emmerdale Farm because it was a bit like farming, wasn't it?
It was farming. It was Emmerdale Farm gone wrong. That's what I would. It was shite. Actually, we had a few film stars, not Glen Rowe, Bracken or something. Remember your man, the A-list star in LA now. What's his name? You know what I'm going to talk about? The good-looking fella, dark fella. He's our age, our vintage, late 40s. He's in LA. What's his name? He actually went for Boys. He went for Boyzone. He went for the audition for Boyzone and didn't get in, and he ended up being an A-list fucking film star in Hollywood.
Shout out to Calvin there. Arsenal are 4th in the table since December, and that's why the Arteta ins are still in. And
well, see, that's it. Calvin Klein in the house. Okay, we're going to go with another one. Ray, music. What would have been your music? Were you a U2 fan, or were you U2?
U2. A lot of the Irish bands as well. Aslan, you remember Aslan?
Yeah, of course.
Fountainhead. You remember Fountainhead?
Who?
Fountainhead.
No, and
I'm just thinking of Aslan, the line of Narnia.
Yeah, Aslan are a big Irish band. Yeah, it is the line of Narnia.
Check them out. They're good. Planet in Tuanua, a little bit more traditional.
Planet. Do you remember Planet?
Yep.
Enya. You know Enya.
Enya. Yeah.
No, but it was Moira's. Was it Moira, her sister, or something? Wasn't it?
Moira Brennan. Yeah.
Enya's sister is the same, but the similar.
Really like the in Tuanua as well. Simple Minds, stuff like that.
Yeah, Simple Minds are brilliant. Yeah, love the 80s music, baby. Even some of the early 90s is very good. It just goes all downhill for me after the early 90s.
Hot House Flowers, Saw Doctors.
Hot House Flowers, yeah, Saw Doctors.
It's like music and television. It's gone downhill since obviously
everything's gone fucking downhill.
Yeah.
No one watches television anymore. It's on Netflix and
it's on
YouTube.
Netflix. It's like
YouTube.
I don't even know why people still pay TV licenses when the TV programs are like that.
We all remember that one, Glen Rowe, right? Well, should we tie the owl knot there, Biddy? Remember that one, Miley and Biddy?
Listen, you're a Kildare man. I'm a Dub. Do you remember Fair City?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I was in the very first episode. They made Fair City for a whole. Yeah, they made they made Fair City in my cul-de-sac because the executive producer's sister. They wanted an enclosed Northside Dublin cul-de-sac, we keyhole cul-de-sac. So for the first whole episode, they made it in our cul-de-sac. So we did all the stand-ins. I'm in the very first episode of September.
Oh, you need to get that out. You need to find that there.
I do have it. I'm going buying a BMX with a brown Tom Cruise leather with the white furry collar. Go and buy every bike. Fuck's sake. All my brothers and sisters are in it. Fuck
yeah. You need to find that, Dave.
Shout out Damon there. He knows Fountainhead as well.
Does he?
It was Wales on Gummidge. Remember that?
Wales on Gummidge. Oh my god, yeah. That was one of my faves.
And what was this girlfriend's name? Nancy or something? And Polly. There you go. Look, straight in. Do you know what? I even remember Magpie, which is even further back than Rainbow.
A little bit before my time, Dave.
No, it's not.
You're younger than me. What's up with that? You're younger than me.
I'm younger than Jack.
Yeah. I'm Benjamin Button, me lad.
Benjamin Button, yeah.
The American shows, Columbo. I used to love Columbo and Patrick
Kojak.
I like the old Knight Rider, Files. Files I love. Yeah.
MacGyver.
Remember Fall Guy?
Oh, big time. Yeah. Fall Guy was the stuntman.
And Jody.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I remember Jody well as well. I used to work for a company called Jody. But I'll tell you another one. The Duke boys, the Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, the 8 team. You Airwolf. You Streethawk. You had Miami Vice. Miami Vice.
Greatest American Hero and Quantum Leap.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I actually did a video with me with a clock mask of that fucking song like 2 years ago. But Greatest American Heroes.
Do you remember Quantum Leap?
Yes, the time traveler.
Yeah.
Yeah, the young lad. Yeah, of course.
Oh boy.
I'll tell you what, I sit down after this show, I'm going YouTube, baby, with another bottle of Peroni. 80s style. MacGyver, Falcon Crest, Dynasty, Dallas, just intros. I just love intros.
Not landing.
I wish I was born in the 70s or 80s. I love me Meteor.
You wouldn't, Jack. You wouldn't.
No, it's all how cool it was. The obviously with TV and obviously, has anyone seen Stranger Things? The way visually,
I have not seen Stranger Things.
Yeah, it's just a great.
I've seen some strange fucking things. but not the
especially
programme.
at the back for Liverpool, like this season, we've seen some strange things.
Tell you what, Eamon's my spirit animal here. Chips, remember that one?
Oh, California Highway Patrol.
Yeah.
Punch. Oh, of course I fucking remember that one. What? That's pure 70s. That's 70s, baby.
Hell Street Blues.
Oh.
So many,
New
Dave.
York.
The Odd Couple. No.
No. Cheers. Remember that? Cheers.
Yeah. No.
Jack, you got to get into YouTube, baby. You got to get in, get stuck into this 80s. Just type in 80s intro TV show or even US, UK shows, whatever it is. They're just
nothing like it. Nothing like it now on the television, is there?
No.
It's nostalgia, though, isn't it? It's nostalgia. There's nothing like it. Even the intros, even the cartoons. The cartoons had a whole like orchestra behind them, like playing music.
There was so much more effort that went into TV programs back then.
Yeah,
I remember
films and
Dave. Do you remember The Hitchhiker?
Yeah, that was scary. I thought that was scary. The fucking hitchhiker. You're walking along the road, highway to heaven.
Oh. The A-Team. We forget about the A-Team and the Incredible Hulk.
All right, John.
Not forgetting about the A-Team. Not forgetting about the A-Team.
Incredible Hulk.
Right, boy.
Incredible Hulk, the original David Banner.
Oh, that was great. So.
But hold on, if you read it, do you remember? There's a place that keeps on calling me. The Littlest Hobo down the road. That's where I'll always be. The dog. Every stop I make a new friends.
It's gone over my head last. Sorry.
Okay. What a fucking dog, Littlest Hobo. It was like Flipper the fucking dolphin from the 60s.
On that one now. Yeah. Knight Rider. Baywatch.
That was something else. That was Baywatch, baby. That was like someone else mentioned Baywatch the other night when we were live. He goes, "You remember Baywatch in the 80s?"
No, I think that's the thing. Dallas or Dynasty, is that kind of like a question there, Eamon? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Question mark there. So which one do you prefer?
Yeah, he's asking you, Dallas or Dynasty.
I was like Dynasty, I think, because you had the fights between Alexis and the other one. They used to have the fights.
Do you remember Twin Peaks?
Not so much. That
was the theme tune. After this show, guys, type in Twin Peaks from the 80s intro TV show. David Lynch was the director. Oh my fucking God, the music. The music will kill you. Never mind the show. The music is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I should have my own show. We should have our own 80s, 90s show.
I got some shows I used to watch with my mother as well. Quincy. She liked that one.
Yeah, Quincy Jones.
You know what I mean?
MD. Quincy Jones, MD.
I always loved Columbo, Dave. I always loved one more question. Just one more question. And the thing about Columbo was, I think he had it pegged. He knew who the guy was from the start. He was just messing with him. You know what I mean? Hey, when you were doing that, reminds me of Monkey Magic, Dave.
Oh, Monkey Magic. Remember that? And Pigsy. Oh my fuck! That was 70 style.
That was my show. That was my show. I get home from school and I have to see that in the evening. Yeah.
Jack doesn't even know what we're talking about.
I'm just nodding. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Dave. If you had a brush somewhere, the pole was gone. You take the brush head off it. You're using that pole as monkey stick. You know what I mean?
He used to put it behind his ear. Didn't he?
He could make it as small as a matchstick and put it behind his ear. Take a few hairs out of his ears. You get the hairy ears. You just blow through the hair. All these fighters would come out.
Think with a lockdown at the minute, I might need to shave me hair.
Green Cross Code. No, the code. Remember that?
I used to be David Prowse from Darth Vader from Star Wars was the actor in that. He was the Green Man, Green Cross Code.
He was Darth Vader.
Yep.
My son. Forgive me, my son. Yeah, he was.
Of course, that was iconic in Ireland. Growing up in Ireland, Dave, the Green Cross Code was iconic.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I do remember it. Yeah, but I mean,
right?
Yeah. Remember, one look for a safe place. Two don't story happen. Is it? What? Stop and wait. Three look
Don't
all
hurry,
around
stop
and
and
listen.
wait.
Three look all around and listen. Do you know? Remember, Jack? You used to teach in
This is
school how to
the
cross the
hedgehog.
road.
Yeah, I remember the hedgehog
Hedgehog.
up there back in the day. That was in the hedgehog. Yeah, I think I was in the 90s or in a hedgehog
That's-
advert anyway. That's what I remember of it.
We didn't have to worry about
So-
crossing the road in the 90s, baby. But listen, we're gonna finish up soon. But I'm actually enjoying the end of the show.
Poor Jack.
What?
We put him through all this. He has a lot to catch up on. He doesn't.
I've
He didn't
told
know
you.
all of this stuff.
I know a couple
Jack-
of shows in that. Obviously, I've done like a film and television degree anyway, so I know names of like TV shows and all that. Like, but,
check it out. Go onto
yeah.
YouTube straight after this and just type in
Yeah.
80s or 90s TV shows. I mean, they're fucking unbelievable.
Must have
Or
given
I
you.
suppose you had to be there. I don't know. Maybe you had to be there.
I'm just
give
so
me a
bad for
different-
starting to see these and then just not finishing. Like,
Must have given you 60 of those things. It must have given you 60
Aye.
suggestions.
homework
Fame,
anyway
Dave?
after our
What?
post match tomorrow. After I watch them.
80s
Remember
style.
Fame?
Oh, Fame. Oh, yeah. I mean, of course, I remember everything. I mean, like, you're living in the States, but I mean, people don't realize Ireland's such a small country that we were swamped by US TV, really. I mean, we were Americanized from fucking the 60s. And with the UK next door to us as well. And that's all we really got because we hadn't got much terrestrial TV. So all our TV would have been the likes of The Generation Game or fucking Blockbusters, you know, Be Please Bob. Be
Oh, I
Please
know
Bob.
Blockbusters.
Yeah,
Blockbusters.
the original or in one. Bully's special price.
Oh, yeah.
We could have played that today, Dave. It was always 2 against 1. I never could get over that. It was always 2 people against 1 person in Blockbuster.
Yeah,
across the board.
Bob Holness was Blockbuster.
Do you remember, Dave? I don't know the name of the show. Maybe people in the comment section will tell us. You were going through. You were standing almost on squares, and
yes,
you miss a square.
Yes. The guy with the baldy guy.
I think so.
The baldy guy, like you're in space, and this weird joke will come out to you and vaporize you in space. That thing. Yeah. What the fuck was that called?
I don't know what that was called.
Not The Generation Game.
Famous Five. Eamon's called there.
The Famous Five.
I remember that as well.
That's Liverpool's back five. Famous Five. But
Danger Mouse as well.
Danger Mouse.
Remember?
Danger Mouse.
Yeah. Cartoons. There we go. You just led me on to my other favorite. My other pet love is cartoons, of course. Me is in the 80s. Ulysses 31. Oh my
I saw your podcast yesterday. You were talking about cartoons and stuff. Asked my wife which the one. She likes the Flintstones, hands down.
Flintstones? Okay.
Yeah.
Barney. But no, Flintstones. I mean, some of the cartoons years ago, some of the stuff you get away.
Postman Pat back in the day, anyway, he's a legend.
Postman Pat.
He's been going forever.
Postman Jack and his black and white.
I'll tell you what, as well. It would be remiss of me to not mention Father Ted as well.
Oh, Father Ted.
Oh,
Legend.
Remember, what was the guy's name? He passed away a few years ago. They used to do like Murphy. Was it Mike Murphy as well? He used to do this.
Mike Murphy. Yeah.
Hidden cameras.
Yeah.
Right.
He was a bit like Jeremy Beadle. Remember Jeremy Beadle with the camera, and he'd come in. And
Jack might remember this one. This is a UK show as well. They do these skits on people, like
pranks.
Yeah.
Like somebody be walking by Jack.
Candid camera.
No, it was something. It was something else. This guy was
the original one. That's the original one. Candid camera.
This guy would go into a cinema with a huge flip phone, the size of 6 feet long, and go, "Hello." Does anyone remember that one?
Oh
Carjacker, phone jacker or something. Was that him?
Yeah.
Channel 4, phone jacker.
They were driving by. They were doing reactions to people. Somebody walking by, and this guy be dressed up as a snowman. As they were just about walking by, they throw a snowball at him, hit him, and then go back into the "I'm just a snowman." The people.
I love two programs when I was a kid. I loved the art. I was very good at drawing and stuff like that. And I also loved astronomy as a child. I used to have a telescope at the age of about 4. And 2 programs for me was The Sky at Night like on a Sunday night about 11:30. Don't know how my man let me watch it.
I remember him.
Yeah,
Such a good
and
show.
well, he's a long dead now. He's a long time dead
That's-
now.
yeah.
But and the other show was Heart to Heart.
Tony Hart. Yeah,
Tony Hart, the artist. And I don't know how many bloody paintings and stuff I sent in, but he used to put them on the wall with the music and go around age 6 or age 5. You know, I don't think I ever got one on the wall, but I mean, I used
to love that plasticine thing as well. The morph. There you go.
It's an Art Attack. Yeah.
Sports Stadium, Eamon's right there. Yeah.
And do you remember the team tune?
The team
tune? The team tune for Sports Stadium on a Saturday. What was the team song? It was Europe.
Well, I have a story. Honest to God, Dave. Honest to God, I'm not trying to work 89 back into this, but I have a story about Sports Stadium. Basically, I didn't think we could beat Liverpool in 1989. Went to sleep that night, didn't know the result. Woke up the next morning. I found out the result from Sports Stadium on the Saturday morning.
Was that a Friday night game?
It was a Friday night game.
It was an unusual. It's because of Hillsborough and stuff, wasn't it? Yeah.
My story is I used to work in Dunn stores, packing shelves. I went in there, worked the late shift, came home, went to bed, and I had two friends. They were Liverpool fans. I was looking out of the crack of my curtains because I felt sure Liverpool would beat Arsenal, and they were going to banter me. You know what I mean? So I didn't know till about Sports Stadium was 12 o'clock midday.
It was half 12, 1 o'clock, something like that.
So I didn't know the result. I didn't know Arsenal won the league till 12 hours later.
I'll tell you what, we could have lost that game 1-0 and still bleeding won the league. It had to be by 2 clear goals. The other thing is Saint and Greavesy.
Brilliant.
On a Saturday. Ian St. John passed away recently with Jimmy Greaves, Saint and Greavesy. We have to remember, there wasn't much football on us kids growing up, Jack. I mean, we had like World Cups and European Cup, or European Championships, but they only came around every 2 years.
Did you not have like football on the telly back then?
Not really.
No.
I mean, no.
Match of
the day was still around then, wasn't it?
You'd have internationals on, but that'd be it.
Yeah.
You'd have the odd Liverpool game on. Oh yeah, Match of the Day would be on, of course, on a Saturday night on BBC One. But that's it. I mean,
recently, a guy called Football with Brownie. Check him out on YouTube. He's been putting some videos up of Sports Stadium, old videos like that, and the video printer. Remember the video printer?
I'm so boring. Do you know what I watch on YouTube? I love what's called idents. You know what an ident is for ITV, BBC, RTE. You know when a show starts and you have the RTE. Yeah, it's like a test card, but it's called an ident, and they change throughout time. But the memories of his kid, because that's all you'd see. You'd see the RTE used to be like a Bridget's Cross. I don't know whether you remember the RTE one, and then you had the BBC or your Thames, the London TV, UTV, also television, ITV, independent television, and you had BBC, all the different idents. That's what I watch.
And then you'd have the end of it would be the national anthem, and it goes dead for 4 or 5 hours till the morning. You know what I mean?
People didn't realise RTE, our channels over here would finish at say 11:30, 11:45, maybe.
Did you have that like scary girl with the clown on?
That was
scary.
BBC. That girl with the clown. That clown's a balloon, actually. That's a balloon face with a mop on its head and the big round eyes.
It's somebody told me I think it's Carol Dorsey is the girl's name now.
That's right, Carol Dorsey. Yeah, she is alive. Yeah, that was 71 or something. But I always remember it because that would just play. But even just about to say there was the CFAX. Do you remember CFAX? The teletext. You don't even remember that, Jack?
Oh no, I remember. Yeah, so yeah.
Trying to get the results. The result would come in 6 hours later.
Yeah, like I remember that. I was about. We used to go all around to my cousins because he had like a Boss telly, and he used to have all like teletext and all that, and that's how we used to check all the results. I was like, because he used to live quite close to Anfield, it was like you'd know what the score was, but you weren't too sure what won.
Do you know what I used to love? BBC Radio 5 Live on a Saturday afternoon. They go to the ground, Anfield. I always remember Roy Keane's debut at Anfield because he played for Forest. It was his first game for Forest, but it was at Anfield. Liverpool won 2-0. And because we hadn't, Ireland were a good side at that time. I was always looking out for these new Irish lads, and every time he got the ball, your man in the commentary was going, "Who's this young Irish lad here? He's only 19 years old. He looks really good." It's his first game. Roy Keane it was. And like Liverpool should have, we're looking at him even then because he played his debut was Anfield, and Liverpool were interested in him. And all of a sudden, United came in with a $3.5 million bid about 2 seasons later.
It's amazing, isn't it? Like $3.5 million for Roy Keane now. You wouldn't see that.
Yeah, well, that was a lot of money back then. $3.5 million.
Yeah. I remember CFAX, Bergkamp was announced $7.5 million from
wow, he was some player. He was some player. Bergkamp.
Yeah, what a player, man.
That was
Eamon Kelly had a question there about the World Cup.
Yeah.
Anfield Arc 1990. Of course, Dave will probably echo me. 1990, I think, was a great one for us. But
for Ireland.
94 as well. But yeah, I came in just on 86 following football,
Yeah,
in
86 for me.
And Mexico
86.
Mine was 2006.
You're giving your age away now, Jack.
Yeah.
It was
only because it was like the Vuvuzelas and all that. Like it's obviously England done terrible as always, but obviously the Spain that Spain I grew up in an iconic. I think I'll tell me kids how good that Spain squad was, and obviously the great Barcelona team, winning the World Cup and the Euros as well back to back. So
we always say Arsenal won the World Cup in 1998 as well. With the French
team, the
French contingent.
Oh. But for me, 86 was the first World Cup that I actually started getting involved with football. I played for a local Drumcondra local team, famous team actually, Drumcondra, and I was 12 or 13, and that Mexico 86 for me. I even did the sticker album, Panini sticker album. I don't know whether you remember that. That was the first. We filled the bleeding album out, and
you remember
the sun was shining. Mexico 86.
Wow. Belgium were the surprise packet in 86, and now they're getting good again.
That's good. Yeah.
How good was Baggio back in the day?
That's later. Roberto Baggio. He was
1990, 94.
Yeah. Wow, he was brilliant. He was unbelievable. Player. I mean, I remember Gazzetta Football. Do you remember that on Channel 4?
Yeah.
Go, let's go. That was
AC Milan team. I think I like Sampdoria in those days. I don't know why.
Sampdoria.
I like Sampdoria.
Des Walker played for them. Remember Sampdoria?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's. I love the memories. I should have set up my own Nostalgia TV, Nostalgia Live, show. You could do a whole show on just on 80s and 90s, couldn't you? Easily.
Just gonna say that we could. What we've been doing for the last 20, 30 minutes, you could just do a whole podcast right there.
Yeah, of course you could. Yeah. Nightlight. Oh my God! I think we'll finish it on Nightlight. Oh my! The priest sitting there with the fucking candle, was it?
There's a picture.
Guys, I'll tell you what, that has been an hour and 47, 48 minutes in. I think we'll leave it there. My voice is starting to go. My Peroni's going cold, baby.
Matt did play for Sampdoria, Anfield Lark. Yep.
Who?
David Platt.
Yeah. I'll tell you, he was with Villa. I remember from Aston Villa, he was unbelievable. But
I'll leave you with this. Our Liverpool fans are very confident for tomorrow. I think Arsenal fans are confident tomorrow as well. So it's a nailed-on draw, right?
Well, no. Draws are no use for either team, really. I mean, days gone by, you take a draw at Arsenal all day long, wouldn't you? I mean, Liverpool, you away to Arsenal, London, Emirates, you take the draw.
The last 5, you just got that one win from the last 5.
I know.
Two draws and 1 win for us in the last 4 or 5.
Yeah. I'm feeling confident tomorrow, Ray. I'm sorry. I said 1-0. I'm going to stick with 1-0. You're sticking with 2-1 Arsenal. Jackie Boy's going 3-2. Guys, I've absolutely enjoyed that. That was unbelievable. Before we go, check out, obviously, Ray on Arsenal Fan Circle on YouTube. And I'll let you do your own little outro. And Jack on Jack Mac LFC. Come on, Ray.
Tomorrow I'll be doing a pre-game show about 2 hours before kickoff. We'll be going for about an hour because there's a lot of topics. Got got to talk about Claude and Rocky Rocastle. Rest in peace, Claude. Other things that are going on in social media,
crazy
the stuff that the harassment people get. I think we all need to be kind to each other. Even our own supporters were divided on so many things. So listen, if you're a Liverpool fan, you're watching this, come on in, join us over at Arsenal Fan Circle 2 hours before kickoff. We'll be announcing the lineups live as well, and we'll be telling you how Arsenal are going to beat you.
I love the confidence. Jack.
Yeah, Jack Mac LFC, everyone on socials, been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, Ray, again. And Dave, thank you for having me on. I dropped Ray's channel link, is hyperlink in the private chat, Dave, if you want to copy that into the chat. Anyway.
I'll put it in the descriptions. I'll put it in the descriptions anyway. So, guys, I enjoyed that. We're an hour and 50. Bit longer than I would have thought, but we could talk all night, to be fair.
Three Musketeers back together anyway. It was a good crack anyway.
It's the gift of the gab, and it's retro, what do you call it? Retro?
Retro, baby.
Retro flashback.
Back to the 70s. Time travel into the 70s.
It's nice. I'll watch all these shows by the time I've seen you tomorrow.
Dave's retro chats.
That's your homework. That's your homework. Pick one now, Dave, that Jack has to go into.
It's gonna be good.
I want you to check out V, the original series from the 80s. V, as in
like what
V.
is it?
V, it's sci-fi. It's very good.
Oh, is it a series? Yeah.
It's a mini series.
A mini series. V, the original mini series. Now they made a remake of it that was rubbish, but the original 82, I think it was. That's what you want.
I like me X-Files and that's all. Probably.
Oh, it'll give you it'll give you a whole new appreciation for mice and rats, right?
Oh, sounds. Well, I've got a cat anyway, so she'll probably eat them all.
Right, guys, we're going to leave it there. We'll sign off. I just want to say thanks to Ray from the Arsenal Fan Circle. Thank you very much. I'm going to say good luck tomorrow, but you know what I mean. And Jack Mac LFC, we'll talk to you soon. I am dedicating this show to Claude and to Rocky Rocastle. Stay safe, guys. Rest in peace. Talk to you soon. Cheers, guys.